This wind, I often find myself undercorrecting. So in a 1 wind, I've even given this some hyzer. For this 3 wind, I'm gonna give it anhyzer to push out there way too much. Here we go, getting into another multiplayer round. Had a lot of 1v1s. I'd really like to get a couple more players on the card and get a little bit more excitement going. Oops, didn't mean to cancel that. Get a little bit more excitement going, more players to watch, more players to run it. We got Deathstroke again. If we play Deathstroke a lot, I would not mind getting a little bit more variety here. I think he might still be at the top of the leaderboard. At least last time I checked, he was. Alwood 5, 7, 1, Downtown 4, 5 and 7, then Northern Lights 8. I'm not too impressed right now with what the separation is gonna be. I go Likewise Paradigm because my typical line is Arrive, and if you go with the Paradigm, you pretty much get to ignore the wind and take your Arrive line. Throw in for 85 feet with a fuse. I go backhand there because I feel like I'm really comfortable with the 60 foot of power, which I can do when it's a 90 distance, and a 3 wind. I get to do a 60 feet of power. Alwood 7. The big pushing wind, I think, is just fine for the Sapphire. It gets over there, no real collision on that bush I just passed. And as long as it doesn't go too long, which it's long, but not too long. 71 feet. Raised basket, so I gotta go like 80 power. And there it is. And of course, going to forehand means I get to ignore the 3 wind. Alwood 1. The key for me on this hole is to aim low enough that if I fade out, I'm not going over the wall. I'm way down here, and then even give it a good bit of anhyzer. I don't care if I hit that bush, as long as it's not a 3 headwind or something. I'm gonna still end up in a good zone here to be able to throw in. There with about 70 power. I mean, 66 is what it actually called for. Going down a little bit. That's okay. Middle course, we have Downtown. Time for the smart play with this wind. It's going to be the Likewise Paradigm. Aim down just slightly and give it just the tiniest bit of anhyzer to it. So it's going to take off down here and slide pretty far. It's going to give me a reasonable look to 218. Am I going to have a look around the right side? No. Got to be a forehand look. It'll be with the rhythm. And I think it's really going to push quite a bit. Gotta make sure I get the distance about here. Just don't be short. Well, okay, it was short, but not so short that it went OB. That's what mattered the most there. We'll putt in with the fuse and take that birdie. Downtown 5, right? 5. I gotta get closer than I've been because I've been far enough out that I've had having trouble getting enough distance coming across. So I ended up a little bit higher off that tee shot. So I faded out earlier and got a little bit closer over here. So that 488 can work just fine with the roll rive. Get it over everything to give us a look. That could have been, it probably could have not been the roll. About 90 power. Get it in our eagle. Looks like Deathstroke might have fumbled a little bit on that throw in. So we have room to work here. Or 1 stroke to work. I don't know if that's really room to work. This wind, I often find myself undercorrecting. So in a 1 wind, I've even given this some hyzer. For this 3 wind, I'm going to give it anhyzer to push out there way too much and get lucky to get a kick off that tree and still get the birdie. Pot it in with the fuse. Nice, nice, nice. Our last 3 are on Northern Lights. Northern Lights 8, I really like taking the shift here and aiming just to the left of these numbers. And that straight pullback gets me right onto this path. It's always scary looking like it's going to fade, but at least for the most part, it doesn't fade and it doesn't go OB there. 479 is good for the glide water skip drive. As long as I don't hit that light post, this gets up here, and the fade works nicely to get around this corner and down onto the green for a throw-in from 95 feet, which should be easy peasy to go ahead and lock that in. 2 more Northern Lights holes, see if we can take it home. Oh, this wind is creating temptation to go for the eagle. But I think the better play for me with this wind is to go with the shift and let the backhand shift get way down here. And if it stays in bounds, which I think it will, I should be able to go rhythm next into the screen. And a rhythm into the screen, get a lot of height on that. A rhythm into the screen should get plenty close to be able to get the birdie. There we go. I love that wind when it comes up for these MVP discs. The shift off the tee, the rhythm for the approach. Bada bing, bada boom. We got to get more MVP in this game. Any MVP, folks, if you're watching, get your MVP discs out here more. Talk to Spinoff. I don't know what it takes. I want more people to have these discs. I'm showing them how to use them. Make sure they can take advantage. All right, I got a tough wind here. I can't take my backhand line with this 3-wind, so it's got to be forehand. And I think it's glide water skip out here on forehand. Don't fade early. And it doesn't fade early. I just don't want to be behind that tractor. I am successfully not behind that tractor. Here for the putt. And to take away with the W. Nice. Good game, Jets Jock. I know we've been even going back and forth quite a bit here. I think I won one. We tied one. He won. I won. We'll keep going. We'll see who gets the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. And as always, stay bogey free.